Hello, and thanks for watching UAPB-TV. My name is Dallas Abraham, and in honor of Women's History Month, I have here with me Judge Faith Jenkins. Welcome.
Thank you, Dallas. I'm happy to be here.
All right, so let's get right into it. So during the question and answer portion of the assembly, you mentioned having an interest very early in your childhood in law. Were your parents supportive?
My parents have always been supportive of everything I've pursued. I think that as parents, most parents, they just want to see you succeed and they want to see you do well. And I think probably in my career, I've taken more risks sometimes than they were comfortable with. But at some point, I think they just sort of sat back and said, okay, well, you know, this is the child that we raised and we gave her roots and we're going to let her now spread her wings and grow. Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, your dream was to be in law. So, you know, a dream without action, you know, there's nothing that's going to come with that if you don't do anything, put anything forth towards it. So, and the Bible says, because I heard you talk about your Christian faith during the speech. So, in the Bible, it also says that faith without work is dead. So, my question to you is, what actions did you put forth to make your dream come true?
I think every step of the way in my journey, no matter what I was doing, I tried to be the best at that point in my life. And that's what I always encourage people, because I've had jobs that were not my dream jobs, jobs that I did not love, but I knew I was developing a skill that I needed for the next step. So I worked hard even while I was there at that level where I knew I didn't want to stay. I think it's important for you to excel where you are and then move on to the next level, because it shows a work ethic, it shows a commitment in a learning process and growth.
What were some of the struggles you faced when pursuing a career in law?
I think that just having the self-discipline to work hard and to make the commitment to study. For example, when I was in law school, studying for 8 hours a day, even when I had classes, and then 10 hours on the weekends. And I think that having that self-discipline, that focus, and that drive, it really sets you apart from people who just won't discipline themselves to do it. And so I decided early on that I was going to have that kind of commitment to excelling. I didn't know I was going to be first in my class. I just knew I wanted to do really well. But studying during the times when I really didn't feel like it, and that's something that's really key, doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like it, really paid off for me in the end.
Okay, so during your speech, you talked about a racial issue that you encountered on the job. So what is some advice that you would give a Black college student who is trying to pursue a career in law?
In law, or, I mean, I guess my advice would really just be in general about life, that sometimes I wanted to tell students about my real world experiences. They may not have something as direct as that. Most things will be subtle actions that may be taken, and how do you deal with that? And I just, you know, what I talked about today is, remember not letting someone else define who you are, having the confidence to know who you are and work through those situations. Now, in that, I had an office mate. I talked about it. He made some disparaging comments, some racially charged comments, and I moved out of that office. That's what I did. I went to our HR person and I said, I'd like to change offices, because it's one thing to hear it, but you don't have to sit and endure that every day while you're trying to do your work. So I changed offices at that time. That was what I felt comfortable doing as the only Black attorney in my law firm. I just wanted to be able to go and have a comfortable work environment.
And you should have a comfortable work environment. So, in beginning your TV show, how was the process in picking a courtroom?
Well, it's TV court, so it's a little different from working at the DA's office. We built our set. So it was designed and it was constructed and built in a sort of a warehouse-looking black space that you can just take and make into whatever you want to make it into. So it's a set, and I have offices in the back, but that's the way it's set up.
Okay.
But they are real cases.
That's interesting. Since your show's start, you've had plenty of cases. So which one is the most memorable?
I've heard probably 500 cases so far, and so many of them stand out. But I think the memorable ones are when people sue for something that is completely illegal. And so I'll give the example: if you go out and buy, I don't know, crack from somebody, and they don't give you the right amount, you can't really go to court and say, I wanted 3, I paid for 3, I only got 2 rocks.
Right.
And I give that example because people will come in and say, I bought these iPhones off the street, and I gave him cash for these iPhones, and I didn't get all the iPhones I was supposed to get. So I say, well, where are they from? And you can't tell me they are hot-ish, which was the word that was used in court, because that's not really going to work. You can't participate in an illegal transaction and then expect the court to come in and try to sort it out. And that's what we call the doctrine of clean hands. When you come into court, you have to actually sue for something that's a legal transaction.
On this season of Judge Faith, what should we expect?
Every season is different. I think that we're going to have more of the same. We have a lot of, unfortunately, families that get into family disputes, and it's a breakdown, and they come into court and want me to try to resolve it. And there's always that emotional issue that's been brewing for years, and I can't solve that issue in 30 minutes, but I try to give people some direction. And if you watch the show, you know we have a good time. We laugh, we cry, social media has just taken over court because now the evidence is different, because people put everything on their social media now when they have a dispute with someone. So now people come in and it's like, oh, I have proof that she said this because I have this text message, or I have this Instagram post, or this subtweet that was really about me. So people put a lot of their business on social media now, and it makes it a lot interesting when they come in and they have posts that have been screenshot, someone deleted, but nothing's ever really deleted once it's out there.
All right. Thanks. I thank you for stopping by.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Be sure to watch Judge Faith Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. on the CW.